love you pour new every day unto my soul.
Good morning. As always, we'll continue our worship with our tithes and offerings, and the ushers will attend us. While they come up, let me read to you from Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. Come to me, and this is Jesus speaking, come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Now, there's an old Jewish story about Moses and the Ten Commandments that says when Moses was called before God on Mount Sinai, that God told him to go pick up those stones and bring them to him. Now, the stones were too heavy, and Moses complained to God that no man could carry these. And God answered and says, I wanted you to see this for yourself so that you would know the miracle I'm about to perform. The words that I am about to etch into these tablets have such power that they will lift the tablets for you. Then the hand of God engraved the stones with his words, and these words lifted the stones and allowed Moses to carry them like feathers. Now when Moses approached the camp, as he carried the Ten Commandments from Mount Sinai, he heard the sound of laughter and drunken singing. And as he came into the presence of the golden calf that the Israelites were worshiping, an idol that they had made for themselves, the first commandment, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt and out of the land of slavery. You shall have no gods before me, glowed and disappeared from the tablets, and with it the Lord's power, making the stones too heavy for Moses, and he dropped them, and they broke into pieces, and the rest of the commandments were lost in the dust. Now, this is not a biblical scripture. This is merely a commentary that they had wrote to help us understand God's plan for us. You know, he's telling us that if we follow him, that the burden is actually lighter than the burden that we make for ourselves. I mean, all through the scripture, it talks about yokes too heavy and picking up our cross and carrying them. And it kind of seems like they're calling us to a life of hardship and misery. But the misery and hardship that we've embraced is the same that we embraced when we left the Garden of Eden and walked out of God's will. And with all the financial burdens most of us face and burdens on our time, it may seem like when we call you to give